You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show. The preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. There you go. She does it so much better than me. Thanks for the Iron Lady for coming in there. The Iron Opera Lady. I think that's what I need to call her, the Iron Opera Lady. Because I'm not allowed to say the very large lady that was in the Bugs Bunny thing, but that's what it always reminds me of, the Iron Opera Lady and the Bugs Bunny cartoons. If you ever think about that. Anyway, thanks guys for joining the show. As always, we appreciate you guys. You know, we've been having a spectacular January of over 300% growth in the show. I guess everyone made it their New Year's resolutions. So we're hoping we're not like the gym where you guys are all going to fall off and not come anymore. But the great thing is we don't make you sweat. We don't give you pain the next day. The Chris Voss Show just makes your brain grow and gets better. And we just pulled the numbers here. Let me see if I can pull them out. Yeah, there they are. We changed the format of the show from just interviewing tech CEOs and tech business for the first 10 years in 2020 because of, well, COVID. And we just cared more about the world and we want to open the aperture of what it was. So we changed the format. We changed the whole show pretty much. And we pulled the numbers. In 4 years of doing the show, we've increased the downloads by 1,405%. So that's not 100 times over. That's not 200 times over. That's 1,405% growth in the show over the last 4 years. And if you don't think that's hard to do, then I got some stories to tell you. So thank you very much for being the great honest you are. We can do it without you, because if we didn't, I'd just be a madman sitting here talking to myself at the mic, and guests would come on and be like, what did I get myself into? Which is pretty much what explains the last 15 years. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss, one of the TikTokity, and, you know, all those other places. I'm too tired to mess with it this morning. We have an amazing author on the show. She's going to blow your mind, and she's the prolific author of over 50 books. We have so many great authors on the show. So now we've got another one in the lineup that has over 50 books. It's just incredible. I love people that can do this, because I'm still working on my second book, and at my pace, it's going to be 103 when it comes out. She is the author of the newest book to come out May 14th, 2024. Jennifer Probst joins us on the show. Her book is called A Wedding in Lake Como. It is the Meet Me in Italy, part 3 of book 3 of the Meet Me in Italy series. And we're going to be talking about her amazing work. She wrote her first book when she was 12 years old. She bound it in a folder, read it to her classmates, and hasn't stopped writing since. She's holds a master's in English literature and lives in the beautiful Hudson Valley in upstate New York. She is the New York Times, USA Today, Wall Street Journal bestselling author of over 50 books, quite the feat, in contemporary romance fiction. She was thrilled her book, The Marriage Bargain, spent 26 weeks on the New York Times. Her work has been translated over a dozen countries, sold over 1 million copies. It was dubbed a romance phenom by Kirkus Reviews. She loves hearing from readers as well, so you can reach out to her. We'll get her website here in a second. Welcome to the show, Jennifer. How are you?
Thanks, Chris. I'm so happy to be here. And, you know, always hearing those blurbs, they don't show you in the office alone, like crying over your manuscript. You sound so fabulous, right? But like,
shh, don't tell anyone. So Jennifer, give us your .coms. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
Yeah, I'm pretty much everywhere. I love to tell people to run to my website, because there's lots of good stuff there. Not only books, but like podcast interviews and bonus content, and you get a free book. So it's www.jenniferprobst.com. And I'm everywhere on social medias. I'm on TikTok, author Jennifer Probst. I'm on Instagram, author Jennifer Probst. I'm on Facebook, author Jennifer Probst. I think I'm on Threads now too. I'm pretty much everywhere. Yeah. And I just started like a really cool subscription thing where I can like do like extra stuff on Ream stories at Jennifer Probst. So, yep,
There you
I'm
go.
everywhere.
You are everywhere and all over, and filling up bookshelves with 50 plus books. So give us a 30,000 overview of what's inside your new book, A Wedding in Lake Como.
Oh yeah, I am so excited about this book because I feel like it's a little bit different. Basically, it's about three women who meet in college and become best friends. And over the years, they go up and down with, what career they're going to do and relationships, and they make a pact to always be there for each other at each other's weddings. But then a secret destroys the group and they go their separate ways. And
Mm.
5 years later, our heroine gets a wedding invitation inviting her to the friend's lavish wedding in Italy, Lake Como. And she
Mm.
goes there, and the secrets are revealed, and we kind of get the fallout of what happened in the story. And of course, there's always a little bit of romance. So we explore that first love, and her first love goes back to the wedding too. So it's kind of like big
Mm.
confrontation. So the book takes you back and forth between what happened like through college and then afterward.
I have some guesses, but I guess we have to leave some of these things a secret.
Yes, I definitely need to keep
All
this
right.
secret.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my guesses to myself. So there you go. I have
Yeah.
some I have some guesses on what went down, but I don't know. You got to read the book, folks. That's the whole
Yes.
point.
Yes, you
You
can
gotta
email me after the show, Chris, and tell me if you can guess it correctly.
let me call Vegas first and lay some bets. There you go. So
Everybody needs something like that, right? They need a little bit of a twist to keep the readers going.
they do. Now, this is part 3 of your 3-book series of this series called Meet Me in Italy. There's Our Italian Summer,
Yes.
and then there's the secret love letters of Olivia Moretti.
Yes, correct.
There you go.
So it's a series, it's called Meet Me in Italy, but actually each of the books are a standalone. What we
Mhm.
did is I decided to write different stories where the setting is Italy. And Italy almost becomes a character unto itself.
Mm.
With the food and the travel. And so each of the books is completely different. It's not like a series where book one leads to 2 to 3. You can pick up any of them. We just kind of like the publisher liked to brand them. So basically, if you want to know anything about Italy or go on a tour for Italy and you want a good love story, you pick one up.
There you go. Now, it says here that they're part of the Ferrari family. Is that the real Italian Ferrari family that you
No,
based it on, or?
no.
Okay.
I was researching good Italian names, and
Ah,
the
there you go.
secret love letters of Olivia Moretti is, yeah, we've got an Our Italian Summer Ferrari. Nope, just there's when you write so many books, you start
Mhm.
running out of names and you got to go down the funnel.
You're probably running out of names, I guess. Yeah, at this point, that would make sense after 50 books. So, tell us a little bit more about you. How did you grow up? We know you wrote your first book very early on. How did
Yeah.
you know you were a wordsmith, a booksmith?
Yeah, I always say that I was very blessed and lucky because I kind of found my true north when I was like 6 years old. I was one of those ones that the minute I picked up a book, I just knew I was going to write. So
Mhm.
when I was 7, I actually found an old diary where it was like talking about like TV crushes that I had. And through every one was when I become an author, when I become a famous author. So it was
Ah.
something that was kind of like navigated, but I'm
Mhm.
also from the dinosaur age. So this is before internet. And this is when if you wanted to get published, you get your little butt to the library and you spend 3 hours under the Writer's Digest magazine, like writing hard copy of who to pitch and who to send. And also back then, I was fearless. So at 12 years old, I was saving my allowance for the Writer's Digest magazines. And basically, all the advice was telling me writers write. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to be a writer. I'm going to sit down and write my book. So
Mhm.
at 12 years old, I write my book. At 13, I wrote another book. At 15, I wrote another book. At
Wow.
16, I wrote another book. And then I learned about like getting paid for your work and trying to make a living from your work and rejection from your work. But I'm glad that that came later. And so
Mhm.
when I was 19, I started submitting and I got rejections. And when that first rejection letter came, I tell people all the time, we always get a path we get to choose. We get to say, yeah, they're right. I'm wrong. I'm not talented enough. I'm not, insert it. Or you get to say, I'm going to prove it to you that I have what it takes, even no matter how long it takes. So I put that rejection letter right over my desk. So I saw it every
Really?
day. Yeah.
There you go.
Every
There
day,
you go.
because
I love
it also
that.
meant that I was a writer. So
Mhm.
I was a real writer because I got my first rejection letter. Now after 50, after that, it got a little heartsick. But again, it's what then I had the folder, Chris, not the
You had
letter
the
on the
folder.
desk, the
It's
folder.
all over the wall. I
But
like how
again,
you I like how you I like how you frame that perception though.
yeah,
Most people get a rejection letter and go, "I suck at this." You're like, "I'm a
yeah,
real author because I got rejected."
yeah,
I like
yeah.
how you frame that.
Thank you. I just feel
Yeah.
like you have to be in the game and failure
Yeah.
is a part of growth. And I
Yeah.
just don't think that anything that you get that easy is
Mhm.
valued as much as something that you have to fight over 20 years for.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
yeah.
did you get 50 letters or was that an
No, that
exaggeration?
is not that I did. I got over 50 letters
Did you
because
really?
I have been yeah, I was submitting like since I was 19.
Oh, I love this.
And my book that finally went viral, The Marriage Bargain, that was basically number 1 on Barnes& and Noble, and Hunger Games was number 2. So, when my husband and I saw that it hit, we literally unplugged the computer. We were like, "Something's definitely wrong."
Well,
But,
I
yeah,
mean, and here you are, a prolific author of over 50 books that have
yeah,
sold very successfully.
yeah, thank you.
I'm seeing all the reviews on Amazon. I think there's a link probably to Goodreads. They've got Goodreads showing up now on the reviews.
Yeah.
And so you ever call those people and go, nah, 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 nah?
I don't. I have my own revenge very quietly, but I will tell a quickie story. When I was in high school English accelerated, I had
Mhm.
an English teacher who was quite cruel.
Oh,
And at
wow.
the end of the class, she said to me, "I know you want to be a writer. I don't think that you'll ever make it."
Oh,
And
wow.
this is high school. I was in 11th grade at the time, and I came
Wow.
back devastated. And again, it goes back to and I was like, "Okay, well, I can't be a writer because she knows what she's doing. She's a teacher, she's this, she's that."
Yeah.
So, her face has inspired me many, many times as I hit the New York Times list, and I wonder while she's out there, who she's teaching and who she's trying to kind of, like, rip down because she has her own stuff going on. But,
Yeah.
that's another lesson. People have their own stuff going on. Just because
Mhm.
somebody says that you're not good at this, they're coming from their own judgment. There's 300 other people who will love what you do.
That's such a great story and probably lesson for people that when
Yeah.
people take a giant dump on your dreams,
Yes.
maybe it's them.
Yes.
We had a great artist on last week who, and I guess this happened to several artists that he quoted that were famous, but his father was having a very hard time and job issues and different things, and took a giant dump on his painting and said, you suck at this. You're a painter. You need to quit doing this and go get a real job. And he quit painting for, I think, almost 20 years,
Oh, that's
20 or
amazing.
12 years. But now he inspires people with his painting. He teaches creativity. He takes easels up on mountainsides and he has to strap the easels down because in some of these places, the wind, is blowing and he's fighting the elements as he creates this artwork. And yeah, people can really ruin people's dreams. Knock it off, whoever's out
Yeah.
there. I hope you
Yeah.
hear me.
Yeah, especially as you're sensitive, yeah. So,
Yeah,
I think it's an important part of my work to just kind of remind people that there's a lot of, creatives. We're all creatives out there,
yeah,
and some are more
yeah,
sensitive than others, and to fight
yeah,
for it. Yeah,
definitely. Even as an entrepreneur, people you'll tell people your idea as an entrepreneur. I remember when I was young, people were like, you're
yeah,
an idiot, kid," and I
yeah,
was, but I could. There was probably a chance I could find my way through,
yeah.
and somehow I did, and I'm still an idiot kid, so I got that going for me.
We all are. I'm the nerd. I'm the one who was, like, not dating. Literally, my cousin, when I think I was, like, 22, she's like she found a manuscript in my thing, like, 400, like, type pages, and she goes, "I guess you
Wow,
don't date much, do you?"
wow.
And I was like, I guess not."
Are you married now and she's
Oh,
not? Do you get revenge that way? You should
I
look
don't
them
wanna
up.
say anything bad. Yeah, no, it was yeah, I am. I'm happily married, and
Yeah,
Lord
Yeah.
bless him, because
So,
living with a writer, we're a lot of, not a lot seen. We'll say that.
there you go. I don't know. Maybe I should marry a writer. That seems like a good thing. I had a great relationship one time with a gal who was a flight stewardess,
Yeah.
and that was kind of nice because she was gone for like 2 weeks at a time usually, and it made for a healthy relationship because I'm pretty broken. But
We all are.
it was kind of like nice. It's kind of like she's not here telling me why I'm a horrible person all the time,
Oh, you're so
which I
funny.
am. So in your book, tell
Yeah.
us about some more about some of the characters in it and why you chose them, why you fleshed them out the way you did.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one because it's usually I write in like a couple of points of view, but when I started the book, it's about three best friends. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have 3 points of view like I had done like in my first and second book, but it wasn't gelling. There was something not going. And then
Hmm.
I realized that it was just one character story. So
Oh,
sometimes like you don't know things until you start writing it. My muse is kind of bitchy, and she's kind of, so she'll be like, no, 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 this is not how we're doing it. So I said, okay.
wow.
So Maddie is the only one out of the girls who we hear from. And she has a tough life. Her mom and dad like pretty much didn't want her.
Mm,
So you'll see her interactions with her friends as her family. I like to say the book started from, it was like an exploration into the complications of female friendship
mm,
and the impact of the ones we choose to love, not the ones who are our family, but the ones that we actually choose to bring into our circle. And the female complications, I take the girls from college where, you're just kind of like passionate, you don't know what you're doing, all through like building their career. Maddie wants to be a social influencer with fashion. So she's always doing social media, and she, dreams of like being famous. And what
mm,
happens when you get your dreams and they're not what you expect. And
mm.
also with female friendships coming, Chris, which you don't know because my husband is like, just tell her that. And I said, are you kidding? You can't do that with women. Like you have to be, there's a delicate dance, as I say, with women. There can be some toxicity there and some
Oh,
envy and some competition. But
yeah.
then there's also the greatest love and support you'll ever have. So you've
Mm.
got this whole big ball of wax. And so the story really breaks down the ins and outs of the female friendships against this fantastic love story and Italy. And I had a lot of fun doing it.
There you go. It's interesting to the way females keep friends.
Yeah.
Like I most of my girlfriends after they come back from ladies' night or whatever, and they tell their stories. I'm just like you talk about your friends like I talk about enemies I want to kill. Like I don't understand the relationships you guys have, but whatever. Just
No,
I'm
they're
keep them.
very different,
I'm
right?
keep
Male and
yeah.
female.
They
Yeah.
really are. Like
Yeah.
like my friends, I'm like, I'll help you bear a body. That's no problem.
Oh,
Um,
my husband is so mean to his friends. The minute also his education level goes down to the toilet. Like I know
yeah.
when he's talking to his friends in the toilet, I'm like, who are you? He's like,
Yeah.
man, dude, he grunts. There's all this other thing. It's
Oh, yeah.
fascinating especially
Yeah.
as a writer, because you kind of like, you see those different interactions.
Yeah, I mean, we haze each other to make sure that we're up to par. It's the way we make sure everyone in the tribe can go kill the elephant together because you don't want that guy running off when you're trying to fight whatever tribe battle you're trying to fight.
I
But yeah,
love
women
it.
are funny that way. It's interesting to watch their dynamics and stuff, and sometimes you're just like, do you really like that person or
Yeah.
do you, it seems like you're just in competition, you just hate them, so you're just
Yeah.
living your best life to try and, I don't know, shove in their
Yeah.
face. It's really
Yeah.
weird, but
Yeah, but
that's one.
but sometimes the other stuff rises to the top. Like, I'll watch like, my husband's friend would be like, "Oh, dude, like you're fat, you gained weight." I'm like, "Oh my God,
Yeah, that's
you would just I would that would be it. It would be broken friendship forever." But
oh,
the
yeah.
other half of that is the support, especially the emotional support that women give. Like
Mhm.
sometimes I want to go to my friend over even my husband, and it's not because I don't trust and love my husband, but they give me something that is I just don't think that you can be found in other ways.
Yeah, I agree. Guys, we have a different way of loyalty, and and the hazing that we do to each other is kind of our way of saying, "Hey, man, I love you and support you." You know,
Yeah.
we we kick each other and all that stuff. But it's a tribal man thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny with women. Now, why did you pick Lake Como? Why did you set the story there?
Lake Como, I had gone in just for a day, and it was a very magical place. There's
Mm,
something about the mansions. The heroine Ava, who's like the kind of the center of the book,
mhm.
um, she has a rich Italian family, and she owns one of the villas on Lake Como.
Oh,
And it was like the perfect backdrop to it takes place in New York City. That's where all the girls go to college.
mhm,
So taking it from a thriving New York City atmosphere to kind of like the stillness and the serenity of Lake Como. And they have fantastic little towns there, Bellagio, shopping. It kind of takes you into a place that's more isolated and stripped down, and
mhm.
just Italy does that to you. So I kind of like that contradiction.
There you go. Italy, such a wonderful place. Now,
Yeah.
is the prior two books, are they set in Italy or?
Yes, Our
Mhm,
Italian Summer is a tour, so they do, like, 15 stops over, like, a
mhm,
2-week period, and the second one, Secret Love Letters of Olivia Moretti, takes place in Positano, Italy.
mm.
So each one, and the one that I just finished up now is gonna take place in Sicily.
There
So
you go.
we're going
What do
around
you
the globe.
what do you like about, Italian culture and
Yes.
life in your book? Does it just make for better romance or?
Yes, I have, my grandmother was from Naples, so
Mhm,
she lived with us, and I would get off the school bus, and she would make coffee, and we would just talk about, her Italian parents, and, I grew up with, like, the 7 platters of food and Sundays,
ah,
5 courses and
yeah,
pinochle with the men, and just it was a beautiful kind of childhood memory. And so when I
ah,
set foot in Italy for the tour, the first time I was there was I was 23. I did, a 15-day tour with my girlfriend. I fell in love there. It's kind of like another world. Here we're just very driven. We're
mhm,
competition, achiever oriented, which is great. But there you get to take a breath. You get to actually enjoy the environment. The food and the wine
mhm,
is almost like an experience. It's like it's the churches, everything just slows down and you become more of yourself. And
mm,
we forget with social media and our attention being like stolen everywhere, what
mhm,
it's like just to put your feet on the ground and breathe and be
mhm.
quiet and be who you are and connect with other people over food and wine. So, yeah, that's what Italy is for me.
That's what I love about Italy and countries that are over there, maybe Spain. They eating and food and drinking is like a real social event.
Yeah,
Like over here in America, I can think now after COVID, we all just do it alone in silence and
yeah. Or in
drink
front of the
in
TV or
front of the TV
yeah, no, no.
and drink.
Yeah.
Don't do that, people. And sitting in whole groups of people, I just find that so wonderful. And then of
Yeah.
course they have such wonderful espresso. I've started getting into the espresso Italian cult this last year, and
You
I'm
did.
broke.
Yeah.
I'm broke, but I have really great machines that make really grind and stuff. But yeah, I still have a $250 little espresso weight that I is so complicated. I have to go read a manual to figure it out.
Chris,
Um,
I adore you because when I came back from Italy, I insisted that I get one of these big Italian coffee machines and a cappuccino maker and stuff like that. And just like you, I said, came back and I said, I am going to drink cappuccino every day. It's changed my life. And then it took like an hour and I just want my caffeine in the morning. I was like,
yeah,
this is not working for me.
yeah. There's guys that they hack them so that they can have like a auto turn on thing or
Yeah.
something, and
Yeah.
so it starts warming up the big
Yes.
giant machine.
Yes.
And I still haven't bought the giant machine yet. I'm just like trying to
Me
decide
either. Me
which
either.
which kidney
Yeah.
I want to give up, the left one
Yeah.
or the right
Yeah.
one.
I know.
And it's insane. It's such a wormhole that you can go down. That's
Yes.
just like you're just like I mean, even the like utensils and accessories, but
Yes.
I've gone the cheap route. I'm just running off what do they call it? The moki pot?
I think
Moki
so.
pot, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And so I'm doing that, but I bought a really nice expensive grinder. In fact, the
Oh,
grinder is more
nice.
expensive than the coffee maker at this point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people are like, how much for the grinder? Like, you can get one for
Yeah.
$12 on Amazon. Like, and you're like, no, this does stuff special. And you're like, wow, what's special? And you're like, I don't know. It's just expensive and in Italian, so it
It
must be
feels different.
it
Yeah, it
must be
elevates.
good. It's kind of
Yeah.
like Ferrari.
Yeah.
It must be good.
Yeah.
Although my friends tell me every time they drive theirs, the lights all come on. They have to get service. So it seems like it works for them. What else should we tease out about your books that you want people to know about?
Just that pretty much going over 50 books. I mean, there's a lot of women's fiction, there's a lot of romance. I've written
Mhm.
2 children's books, but there's also 2 books that have been very well known, 3 books actually, nonfiction about writing. I'm very passionate about writing and the craft.
Mhm.
So I've done deep dives into that. So there's always writing books to pick up. There's a lot at my website. I'm one of these writers who I love doing different things at all times. I've written novellas, the short story, the 120,000 word book, the 70,000 word book. I've written, I mean, this is like 40 years of writing right now.
Yeah.
So I just have a love for the craft and I never want to get stale. So I don't think that you'd pick up one of my books and say, oh my gosh, on the 7th book, it's cookie cutter. I'm always trying to
Mm,
bring something fresh.
there
And
you go.
also, as we grow, we experience different things,
Mhm.
like, single days and dating days are different from mom days. And, I think that you appreciate new things as you get older and you bring them into your work.
There you go. What's your writing schedule? Do you keep? How often are you pumping out books? Some writers do it every 3 months or 6 months. And then what sort of writing do you do? Do you keep like a daily thing or?
Yeah, unfortunately, writing right now is different from when it was.
Mhm.
It is kind of exploded into a lot of administrative. It's not
Mhm.
just writing the book. When we have millions of books out there, we have to make ourselves relevant enough for readers to find our book.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I got a business degree, a bachelor's in business management, because it is a lot of business. You have to really take on, you're pretty much the CEO. So writing is always my number one concern. I
Mhm.
know when I've been, going down too much admin with email and marketing and branding and PR and social media. And I know I have to get back to the work. I write every day.
Mhm.
Sometimes when I do need a break after a book or I'm in burnout, I'll take a week and I'll watch like hours of Bravo television and refill the the well. But pretty much,
Lifetime.
yeah, you have to kind of show up, butt in the chair. It's not about inspiration striking. It really isn't. It's about just trying to take care of your creative. Always say, protect the work, protect the muse,
Mm.
um, keep it keep it fresh, and then butt in chair. So every day I'm pumping out about 2,000 words a day, I'm going to say. And
There
every
you
three
go.
to 4 months, I'm going to say every 3 to 4 months, I have a book or
Mhm.
something published. Yeah.
3 to 4 months, 2,000 words. How long does it take you to pump out 2,000 words? I'm curious. Like in
This
an
is
hour or 2
this
hours
is
or?
the key. It totally depends on where the book is.
Ah,
So the beginning to the middle is really hard slogging. So
yeah.
2,000 words can take me from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Wow.
Especially it depends on my deadline and how much I've procrastinated.
It's the
Because if I have
deadline.
4 months for a deadline and I procrastinate to 2 months because I've been watching Bravo too much, well, guess what? You can't move the deadline up. So
Oh,
now I'm writing 12 hours a day and it's my fault. Towards the middle to the end, I can literally pump out 6,000 words a day. Easy.
wow. There you
Because I'm
go.
chasing the story. But the
Hey,
beginning when the story is coming to me very, very slow. So
there
yeah.
you go. And then once you kinda got it, it hits the road and off
Then
you
it's
go.
why I do this career. It's like going
There you go.
down the hill of a roller coaster. It is a gift. It's heaven. It's just letting the story like take you. But it takes
Mhm.
a lot for me to to get to that point. That's called just showing up.
I think we had another prolific author on recently, I think a month or 2 ago, who, I was like, "How do you stay motivated every day and what do you do?" And they literally said, "I last minute the contract or the the deadline." I'm like, "Really? Wow, okay."
I will tell you, this has happened in my house. That's why I said, don't marry a writer if you're really ready. I torture my kids. My kids are like, Mom, you have to be quiet. We cannot hear your whining anymore, your deadline anymore.
Oh,
And I
wow.
have been known to like stalk into the kitchen and say, sell the house. I'm not writing the book and we're giving back the contract.
Wow.
We're going to go to a tent. We're going to be good. We're not writing anymore.
Some drama right there.
There's always got to be
There you
drama.
go. Maybe this could be a one of those reality TV shows, The
Uh,
Life of a Writer.
I think they've tried, Chris.
Yeah.
I've been approached like twice during the last 15
really?
years about a reality show with writers. The
Yeah.
thing is that we're not that interesting. We're pretty much in our pajamas talking to dogs and imaginary people every day.
You just described my whole life.
Yeah, well, welcome to the creative club.
Not showering for 2 days or so, maybe,
Yeah, exactly.
that sort of thing.
It's real glamorous.
You kind of reach the point where you're writing and you're just like, when was the last time I showered? I smell.
That's why I have people around me. I come
It's
out and they
true.
go, you've had the same clothes on for 4 days and the children are very embarrassed for you to go pick them up at school. So can you please like do something? And I go,
Yeah.
"Oh,
See, I don't have that problem. I have just 2 dogs and
yeah,
they have large noses. And so when
yeah."
they won't come near you, then you got an issue. So
It's bad.
they're just like, you stink worse than us. And we're Siberian Huskies. So there you go.
Oh, I love the Huskies.
I love your story that you told. I'm probably going to be telling that forever to a lot of people. That the paradigm that you used of taking your first rejection letter and going, now it makes me official as
Yeah,
an author. I love that
yeah,
paradigm. We joke in the business. I've had a lot of social media accounts that we've raised hundreds of thousands of followers on,
yeah,
and of course our YouTube channel. And it's like the joke is you don't become official until you finally get trolled and people start throwing shit at you and comments on your social media.
yes,
Then you're like, I must have made it because now I have trolls.
yes. I have heard that, and I think it's true. It's
Yeah.
all the way that you look. It's the way you look at things. I just think that we get our own perspective.
There you go. Final question for you. Any advice you give to aspiring writers who are looking to write, any books? Because I
Yeah.
think any is good.
Yeah. Well, I say it again and again. I mean, there's a million things I can tell you on, oh, this is how slay Amazon, and this is how you do ads, and this is how you make yourself relevant and go viral. And not that I've gone viral, but really, I always go back to it's you alone in a room with
Mhm.
the story. There's nobody that can write it for you. There's nobody that can make it happen for you. And the second thing that you've got to know is that everybody is so unique. You
Mhm.
can never write the same story that somebody else is.
Mm.
And the world needs your perspective. It
Yeah.
needs your story. It's waiting for you out there. So you
Mhm.
have to protect the work and believe in yourself and just like focus on that.
Yeah.
That's everything. Every single day you get to choose. Today I'm going to choose my work. Today I'm going to take a chance. And
Mhm.
then you're looking a year down the line and you can have this fantastic book, this
Yeah.
accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat the elephant in small bites. I mean,
Yes.
that's write those words. Like,
Yes.
like you said, that 2,000, 6,000 words a day, you're like, I don't know where this is going. And then you wake up one day and you're like
Yes.
50,000, 70,000, 100,000 words. And you're like, wow, who
Yes.
did this thing? Wow.
Yes.
It finally is here.
It's so true. Yeah.
There you go. Well, very inspirational. So everyone else should start writing 50 books, damn it. You have the code. So she just gave you the code.
Just keep going at it. Yep.
There you go. Thank you very much, Jennifer, coming on the show. Give us your .com so people can find you on the interwebs.
Yep, jenniferprobst.com. Super easy, just my name. You'll find if you sign up for a newsletter, you get a free book. There's lots of fun stuff on there. I'm definitely going to be putting this fantastic podcast on there. So
There you go. Thank you.
can see,
Thank you.
Chris and us in all our glory.
There you go. There you go. You can just black out my side of the screen. No one wants to see that. But please come back for the next one. We'd love to have you. The next 50 actually come back.
Yes, that sounds good. We're going to go have 100 celebration party,
Love
and there will
100
be
pretty good.
champagne.
There you go. Can we do this in can we get somebody to pay for that? Yeah, there you go. And order up the book, folks, so you can find out those secrets we alluded to at the beginning of the show.
You'll love it.
You got to find out the secrets and surprises, probably.
Yes.
A Wedding in Lake Como, book 3 of the Meet Me in Italy series, comes out May 14th, 2024. That's halfway through the year. Geez, we're already there, aren't we? There you go. Thanks so much for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss, one on the TikTokity, all those crazy places around the internet. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys next time.